Me cansé de rogarle.
Naturally.
Me cansé de decirte
Beautiful.
que yo sin ella de pena muero.
Cheers!
Cheers to you,
I'm
my
so
love.
happy to be sitting with you. Oh, you got the real deal though.
The nectar of the Mexican gods right here.
How is it?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Great tequila makes you feel alive. And it also makes you a better person.
Do you feel alive right now?
I do. Well, I'm with you.
Thank you.
I'm here in Austin, loving every moment of it. And I gotta say, as a Texas boy from El Paso, coming back to Texas is always like a big hug. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to be back.
I'm so glad to hear you say that. I actually wore my cowboy boots for you.
I was wearing cowboy boots before the hipsters, all right? Before the handlebar mustaches and the suspenders, I was rocking the cowboy boots.
You know what you are? You're a trailblazer.
I love that.
Thank you for doing that.
Of course, my love.
When are you having the most fun?
When I'm cooking and drinking tequila, it's probably the two activities I excel at the most, probably.
You get to travel so much, you see so many places, so many people. What's been something interesting you've come across recently?
I've had a pleasure of traveling to about 26 states in Mexico. So just really kind of putting my head down and really understanding all the different nuances that Mexican food and culture has to offer.
Yeah.
Especially Guadalajara, Jalisco, where we make tequila cazadores.
When did you first know that you loved food and people and cooking for other people?
I'm a son of a chef. My mom had a restaurant for 30 years, and then my grandmother was a great home cook. They grew up in a cattle ranch in Chihuahua. And my grandmother actually wrote a cookbook as well in 1986, so I'm a third generation cookbook author.
See, it's in your blood. You're
Absolutely.
natural.
From a very young age, food was essential, a way we communed, a way we connected to culture. And from there on, it just became my mission in life.
I love to hear that. What's one of your favorite food memories that stands out?
You know, I've cooked at the White House a couple times.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really special moment.
Are you scared when you're about to present food for these people, or are you just like adrenaline rush and excited?
A little bit of both. Everybody eats on a silver lined plate.
Wow,
and
that's fancy.
And there's only one gold lined plate, and that's for the.
That's for you.
No, that's for the
for the
president.
front
Yeah, exactly. So that moment was a little ephemeral, and a little bit intense. Just going around and being able to spread a little bit of that love through food is what keeps me driven every day. It's a language we all speak, and it's kind of like having a soccer ball, you know? You can make a friend anywhere in the world if you play soccer. Same thing with food. That idea of communing, being selfless, thinking of the needs of others.
But if you're like scared to get in the kitchen, what are your tips for people?
My suggestion to everybody is if you have a grandparent that's living, I think if you take a consensus and ask who the best cook in your family is, it's usually grandma.
It always is grandma.
So I would encourage everybody to engage your abuela and spend every one of those moments cataloging recipes and starting with a nice repertoire of some dishes. But I think you can't go wrong with the tacos, you know?
Tacos are a way of life here. Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner tacos is a totally normal occasion.
Absolutely. And I think for me, what constitutes a great taco are three components.
Please tell.
So for me, a great taco starts with the canvas, which is the tortilla. Then you have a beautiful filling, a guiso or carne asada, and then you have the garnish / salsa. So those are the three components, and when they're working in perfect harmony, it's that bite that is memorable and unforgettable.
That's so beautiful. You just painted this vivid picture of a taco experience.
Of course, that's how it is.
Talk to me a little bit about your scholarship fund.
Chefs in general are philanthropy-driven people. For me, the idea of giving back to an industry and a craft that has been so rewarding and generous to me, felt was an absolute need. So I wanted to identify Latino and Latina youth and give them the opportunity of education and having that foundation and having access to those opportunities. More times than not, a lot of the Latino workforce is being overlooked for higher positions and management positions, and now you have second and third generation Latinos rescuing their roots, and I want to be able to identify that new crop of chefs and give them the necessary tools to be leaders in the kitchen. So we provide a fully paid culinary scholarship in New York, and then we have a series of mentoring where we help guide these young people through the process, because mentoring is such a big part of being a chef. Absolutely rewarding. I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else.
What are some of those important life lessons and wisdom you would want to impart to people?
Well, I think the first thing is to develop your own style. And I think a trap that a lot of people fall into is regurgitating your mentor's work and not defining yourself. That'd be my biggest suggestion. Take all those lessons from your mentors and travel experiences and really poignant moments in your life, filter that through, and then boom, then you have your own style. You know what I mean?
Beautiful potpourri of life experiences.
Exactly.
That's very
and
good
I think
advice.
that's extremely important.
What brings you joy right now?
My family, you know, obviously. You know, I thought being a master chef or a chef was the biggest, you know, thing I ever. Now the best title I have is dad, you know?
That's so sweet.
You realize that you have a legacy, you know, and I think that's the most important part. Watching my son grow up and feeling that need to continue to better myself so I can be a great example.
That's really special.
Yeah.
This would be a very hard thing to do, but if you had to pick one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I'd have tacos.
I should have known. Okay, a second meal you might have.
Tacos. What would be the second one? It's probably like a great rich mole from Oaxaca. Taking something very rudimentary like turkey or chicken and just bringing it to that next level.
I know you said that you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, but if you weren't doing this work, what might you be doing?
Me cansé de rogarle.
Naturally.
Me cansé de decirte
Beautiful.
que yo sin ella de pena muero. I'd be a mariachi singer.
Oh, that's obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, you may have missed your calling. There's still time.
Who never knows? It depends on how much tequila cazadores is consumed.
On that note, let's have some more, shall we? Cheers,
Cheers to
Aaron.
you,
Thank
my
you
queen.
so much.
Thank you.